Pressure is a natural part of most managers' lives. Some pressures we create ourselves by the goals we set, the commitments we make, the timetables we develop. Some pressures we experience are created by others, by their expectations and demands and deadlines. And some pressures come from conflicts between our inner needs and the demands of others. It is when these pressures come into conflict with each other that we usually experience the greatest discomfort. It is also during these moments that we can learn much about our weaknesses and strengths, our courage and cowardice, our rigidities and tolerances, our readiness to fight, our ability to compromise, and our values and priorities. To transform pressure into problem solving and pain into learning requires perspective and effort. This is the story of one man in the midst of an experience of pressure and conflict. As we watch him deal with his problems, we can perhaps identify the insights that would be available to him if he could only keep his cool and his perspective. We might also speculate on how to maintain perspective when the pressures of conflict enter our lives. The manager under pressure is a sales manager, competent and conscientious. A man who built his sales force to a point where he was proud and confident of the future. Then came the traumatic blow. Instructions from the president for a 20% across-the-board cut in all departments to be carried out immediately. Frank, the sales manager, gets together with other department heads to discuss the new development.
No matter how you slice it, we've got to let 6 guys go.
I shouldn't bring this up perhaps at this meeting, but it seems to me kind of incompatible, but I think among ourselves we should discuss it, because we're working with 2 incompatibles. We're working with a 20% reduction and maintaining profit objectives and marketing objectives.
Well, not really, Al. We do have an awful lot of dead wood. But this might just be the time to clear out some of it.
This is the time. We don't have an awful lot of dead. I don't have an awful lot of dead wood.
Yeah, I trust you speaking for your own department. You're certainly not speaking for mine.
Well, you've got to have an inefficient guy in your department somewhere. Now, I'm not going to be the one to tell you who it is. But, I'm sure you must know, and you could probably do just as well as you're doing right now without him.
Our biggest problem is trying to hold the fellows we've got.
And now we were supposed to cut
Precisely, and if we start engaging in development programs, get them part of the way along the way, and then let a number go, the rest of the fellows are feeling terribly insecure. And as Al just pointed out, we're being asked to cut 20% and overnight become 20% more efficient. We're only in the problem because we're not adequately efficient.
At this point, Frank has symbolically turned away from his public world. As the meeting drones on, Frank converses with some of the people in his private world. He thinks about his wife, his son, the director of finance, and his physician. They are not physically present in the meeting, but they are key forces of influence in Frank's world. They can intensify or diminish the pressure Frank is experiencing. They will inevitably influence the way he makes decisions and the way he responds to his colleagues.
Frank, you've got about everything going for you to get in real trouble. You've been smoking your head off. Every time you smoke, it's like taking a shot of adrenaline, and you've got plenty of that even to start with. You know, your blood pressure's been up. You've been burning the candle at both ends, and now you got business troubles beside the row with your family. And you can do something about some of this. You can't do...
Can you solve my business problem?
That I can't, but you can stop the smoking, and that's probably your main thing that you can do to start with. Then after that, it's a question of philosophy.
I'm well aware of the dangers of smoking. Now, I've tried it 4 or 5 times. I haven't been able to make it.
Well, you're either given a choice of having trouble or stopping. We can't baby you. You're a man. Take it or leave it is about what it amounts to.
Do you know any new programs or anything?
You mean to stop smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a heart attack. Every case I've had that has a heart attack, stop smoking. Actually.
It's doing it the hard way.
It is doing it the hard way, and unfortunately, that's what most people do. I think actually some fellows will go into cigar smoking if you don't inhale. It's the inhaling that seems to be the thing. And maybe you can wean yourself through cigar smoking without inhaling.
Will this help my belly problem?
Not too much. Your main problem is the emotional problem there. And if you can get yourself quieted down through maybe being a little bit more active on the outside, getting a little recreation, even go take a walk in the woods once in a while. Get away from your problem a little bit. Easier said than done, I agree.
Yeah, easier said than done is right.
Be realistic about it and then try to meet your problem.
Frank, I hate to be repetitious, but the school called me again yesterday. Greg's marks are all down. He's doing very badly. The kids he's running around with are, like, not the most desirable.
Well, you know, this is one problem that I can't solve. You are home. I'm down at the office. The care of the children. You are in much closer contact with them. This is not by choice.
Oh.
I mean, you're perfectly happy to live where we are. And no matter how hard I work, or no matter how much I make, you know, we're still trying to keep the wolf away from the door. We've got an overhead, a nut in our house that is, there's no way of solving it, other than me working the way I do. Now, what do we want to do? You want me to retire at my age? I'm not ready to retire.
I don't know, but there has to be some solution. Is it really necessary that you be away as much as you are? I mean, there are other men with houses similar to this one who are home.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Do you think I travel by choice? I say, oh, gee, it would be nice to go out to San Francisco. The view's nice from the top of the mark.
Sometimes I wonder.
Thanks a lot for your cooperation.
Frank, I'm worried about the boy. This is what's my major concern. He needs a man in his life. He happens to need his father, you.
Is this the reason for the hair?
I would guess that might be, yes.
You know what I told you? You've got till 4th of July to get that off.
You don't understand?
Oh, you don't go to Martha's Vineyard, and neither does your mother, neither do any of us.
Well, then I'd rather not go, because you don't understand me.
I understand you very well. If you want to wear long hair, let your hair grow longer, fine. You have to have it around your shoulders. What? If you can give me one real reason that what you're accomplishing by letting your hair grow to that length, I'll buy it.
I'm not supposed to be accomplishing anything. I like it like this.
Well, look, I'm going to repeat it. 4th of July, off. Frank, got it?
No.
You do it, or I will take very severe action. Now, that's an order. It's not a request. We're beyond the rationalization stage. Cut the hair!
Now, it's obvious, Frank. You get the sales reports. You can't make your cuts in the western region. You can hardly sustain the operation now.
Wait a minute. Excuse me, but what right have you got to tell me where I make my cuts?
I happen to know about facts and figures.
You know about facts and figures. I happen to know about men and markets.
Well, I think you're getting emotional, Frank. I get the facts, you're presented with the figures, you got the reports. From that, you can make a decision. You've had good judgment before. I don't understand it now. You have to look in the eastern region to cut your men. It's perfectly obvious. It's not difficult in the least.
And the region that can be least afford to be cut is the eastern region. I've just lost the top man in the metropolitan area. He's responsible for 17% of our business. This is where 60% of your market is.
You have no alternative. You got to cut, and you've got to do it. It comes right from the top.
Listen, I'm telling you that I am not going to fire 6 guys. I'm going to fire 4 tops.
Frank has other pressures in his life, some quite positive. He's being considered for a promotion and for a leadership position in an important community organization. Sometimes he finds that even positive stresses can add to the pain and tension of conflict. He sits alone as he reviews his situation.
Well, there it is. I had a feeling it was coming. I gotta listen to that Dr. Levitas. He's right. I got to give these things up. Great time to quit smoking. If only Jane would help. If she'd give them up with me, at least I wouldn't be tempted around the house. Yeah, I'm in a great position right now to ask Jane a favor. God, what has happened to our marriage? Talk about strangers. I know what she means. She's right, I'm never home, I know. And when I am, I'm... have a drink, eat a little dinner, and fall asleep. It's a great life. Well, the boy, Greg, my son. My son, an actual, he's a stranger to me. I have no line of communication whatsoever. I'm too hard on him, that's why. But why does he have to go to those extremes? I don't understand him. Boy, we break our backs to understand the kids. Maybe you ought to try a little reverse psychology. Ask them to try to understand us. But not at that age, the center of the universe. Loyal to my son. Look what I've got to do to 3 fellows I brought from Universal Electric with me. I'm gonna have to let one of my regional managers go. Which one? Stan? Julian? Listen, I can't be sentimental about it. I've got to do what I have to do. I have to think of myself, too. Cigarettes. You do what you have to do. You can't do any more than that. I can't be all things to all men. I can't be but that Greg of mine doesn't need a father. He needs a psychiatrist. So I've got to be a psychiatrist, a father to him, a husband, a better husband, to my wife, a respected leader, sales manager. Just at the very point where I think I've finally I've got a sales force, I've got an organization, we're ready to go. What do? We run into the hospital situation. Nobody's got any money. They've got the money. Yes, they'll give you an order, but try to get the money. So what do I do? Which guy am I going to be loyal to? My wife, my son, my boss, the men in the field, the one I hired? I've got to make a decision. Why do these corporate people always take the easy way out? That is an absolute cop-out. 20% across the line. They're dealing with human beings, they're dealing with ambitions, and they take out 20% across the line. I can't help but like Craig. What am I going to do? I've got to try to go along with him. But in the convention at Chicago, I'm going to have a few drinks with a few guys.
Times of pressure are times of confusion and pain. But with perspective, they can also become times of learning and discovery.